meMiner here. If you like rock tumbling, I think I have a treat for you. Come join me. I've got an empty 3-pound rock tumbling barrel. I want to do a rather special project. My first bag of rock is Mucalite Jasper. It was $25 Canadian and it weighs 1.5 pounds. This is one of my favorite Jaspers because of the variation in color. Typically it's from Western Australia, also known as Mucite or Mook Jasper. Now what you'll notice is these things are fairly large relative to the size of the barrel I'm using. They would not effectively roll, in which case they wouldn't effectively round or polish. The next step is to preform them so they do fit the tumbler. You want to have a variety of sizes in your tumble. Here is 1.5 pounds of rock in my 3-pound barrel, and you can see it's about half full. When I make these into smaller pieces, it'll probably be about 1/3 full. 3 pounds of this kind of rock will fill the barrel about 2/3, which is perfect for a good tumble. Any more and the rocks won't roll properly. Any less than half and again they won't roll properly. Here is the second bag. It's polychrome jasper. This is typically from Madagascar. It's also known as desert jasper or royal savannah jasper. It cost me $23 for the bag, and again they're a little too large for what I want to do or for my tumbler. The easiest way of turning these bigger rocks into smaller rocks is to hit them with a rock hammer. The other method I have been known to use is to cut them on the tile saw. For some, an obvious issue using a saw is all of the cuts are straight. If you prefer a natural or random look to your rocks, then a hammer is probably the way to go. I sometimes use the side of the saw blade to rough shape the rock. So there's what we're starting with. A variety of shapes and sizes. Some I did on the saw, some I just broke. Everything from pea size, where's the pea size? There we go. To, there's the largest one right there. Let's get them in the tumbler, add the grit, add some water, and we'll rock and roll. And there's a little backstory I should explain. There is a company called Polyplastics in the US that's well regarded, but they don't ship to Canada. I got hold of them and they made an exception for me. So what we got is a mixed sizing of ceramic media. This is 1.5 pounds, and I like the look of this stuff. I've been using stuff like this, but that would get into some of the cracks and grooves. You like? I like that a lot. I don't usually use media at the beginning of my tumbles. It's more towards the end as the barrel gets closer to half full. So we'll save that. Some plastic tumbler pellets. Nice! Instructions and a variety of grits. So here's what's in the kit. Step 1, Coarse 60 grit silicon carbide. Step 2, medium grit 180-220. Step 3, 500 grit. And for the final polish, 1200 grit aluminum oxide. I do like that they identify what the grit is. Some of the suppliers do not. They gave me some instructions, basically everything you need to know. RTFM, eh? So this step, which is step 1 coarse, is clean your tumbler. I've done that. Fill your barrel about 2/3 full with rocks. If you have to make up the difference, use plastic pellets or ceramic media. What they're suggesting is 2 tablespoons per pound of rock. They run the tumbler for 7 days. Button her up, and we're ready to rock and roll.